Last Thursday at 4 p.m. my time, Silksong came out, and about 3 hours later, it was actually downloadable. So right to the point, is it good? Well, if you're aware of the subjective nature of this world, then you can probably imagine that the answer is it depends. So let's get into it. Silksong is similar but different. It has the same DNA than Hollow Knight, but of course some things differ. While in Hollow Knight you have a certain amount of notches to equip charms of different sizes, in Silksong you have crests with different movesets. For example, you start with this diagonal down attack, which many people complain about and accuse of ruining Silksong. Very early in the game you get the beloved down attack from the previous game though, so you can choose whatever you prefer. Also, you don't equip charms, but different items and abilities. There are different types. While the Knight has a short invincible dash, Hornet has a sprinting ability which can act as a short dash, but it's not invincible. In order to tell you if Silksong is for you, it's important to consider the genre tags. Just like Hollow Knight, this too is a Metroidvania Souls-like, and it plays very similarly to Hollow Knight. So I can tell you right now that if you enjoyed Hollow Knight, then you will most likely also enjoy Silksong. We will get to the exceptions and the reasons later. But what if you have never played Hollow Knight or didn't like it? In that case, do you like Metroidvanias? Do you like Souls-likes? Because these two genres are what define this game. Never is there any happy, upbeat, bright Diddy Kong Racing character selection screen with uplifting music. These games are dark. I played and beat both of them, and they take place in sinister, miserable places. Metroidvanias. Do you enjoy getting lost and not knowing where to go? I got lost a lot in Silksong, and I have to say that is my biggest, if only, criticism. You enter a place and don't have a map. There's a map guy or a map station in each area where you can buy the area's map, but they are hidden. That's right, the map guy or station is hidden. Even if you manage to find them without a map, then the map costs money. If you don't have enough, good luck finding your way back there. There are a lot of paths that are at first inaccessible because you don't have the right ability yet. You get it later. So, with a lot of such at first inaccessible paths, big confusing areas even with maps, and a lot of backtracking, good luck remembering all of those. Metroidvanias are confusing, and I personally very much hate that about these two games. I beat the final boss fight in Silksong without ever finding the double jump. That's right. I had no double jump when I beat the final boss. Then why did I buy and enjoy Silksong? Well, that's because of the boss fights. Souls-like. Now, not everyone enjoys challenges, but I do. I loved Hollow Knight's bosses, and Silksong has really super insanely fun and amazing ones too. Really. I had so much fun with Silksong's bosses, and they are the reason why I enjoyed these two games. Every time I encounter a new boss, a tsunami of excitement and anticipation hits me in the best possible way. I love them. So, to people's complaints. What do people dislike and why? The most common complaints are the difficulty. Silksong starts with the difficulty that Hollow Knight ends with, too many enemies and attacks do 2 damage, etc. Does Silksong start how Hollow Knight ended? Well, I think that's nonsense. The final Hollow Knight boss fight is, in my opinion, much harder than the first Silksong boss. Too many attacks that do 2 damage? I don't think so. I like Silksong's difficulty. So I think these 2 points are wrong, but maybe that's just me. Hornet's diagonal down attack is dumb. Well, first of all, I find it pretty nice, and second, you quickly get the down attack from Hollow Knight, and you can then choose which one you want. One final comment I have about Silksong, the difficulty curve. If you don't want boss spoilers, then...
Spoiler warning! Alright, now it's over.
The boss fights in Silksong get increasingly difficult. The difficulty curve goes up and up, rises further and further, and then peaks at a certain point. That point being the conductor's melody fight. In order to access the final area with the final boss fight, you need 3 melodies, and the conductor's melody is 1 out of these 3. So it's just one piece of a 3-part quest. But it's harder than the judge fight at the end of Act 1, harder than the final showdown with Lace, and most importantly, a lot more difficult than the final boss fight at the very end of the game. So the difficulty curve of Silksong is a bit weird. But yeah, that's everything I have to say really. To summarize, it's a Metroidvania. I personally don't like that aspect of the game, and it's a Souls-like. I have never played any Dark Souls game, but Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong have amazing and super fun bosses, and I enjoy them a lot. That's it for my review and this Sunday's video. If you liked it, then there's a like button for you. Tell me what you think in the comments below, check out my own game Tim and Harpy, and consider subscribing. Bye!